Hello, everyone. Welcome back for another session of learning how to use Kartra. Today, we're going to talk about the second half of the contact import process. We're going to deal with adding automation to a contact import and then also how to fill out the questionnaire to finish importing your contacts. If you would like to see the process at the very beginning of the import, I covered uploading your file and then also matching fields in another video. So if you want to see that part, check that out. But for today, we're going to get into that second half. So in our account, we're going to go over here to contacts and imports. If you are just starting a brand new import, you would click plus import here in the top right corner. But I've got one in progress already from the other video I talked about. So we're going to go into a pending draft import here. And I'm going to finish that up with you. So we imported a CSV file with some sample data. And I am now on the automation step of the import process. So this is where you can add some organization to the contacts that you're importing into your account. Kartra uses tags and lists to help you organize people into communication groups, or you can use tags. They're essentially like a label that you can put on a contact to identify all different types of like purchase behavior or content behavior if they're accessing your pages, if they're opening your emails, all of that kind of stuff, you can tag that sort of behavior. So when you bring a contact list in from an outside service, maybe you had mail delivery with a program like MailChimp or ActiveCampaign or something like that. If you are bringing those contacts into Kartra to use in our system, you can apply some organization here if you want to. So these are, you would just choose from the dropdown, select your categories, select your tag. These are things that you would already have created in your account. If you don't already have a tag set up that you want to add to this group though, you can just click this link here, create new tag. Same thing goes with lists. Lists are typically used to divide people into groups of like communication groups. So people that might have signed up for your master mailing list or a newsletter list or for product updates, things like that. Those are how you want to sort of separate out your lists. So again, you can select a list from the dropdown if you already have one, or you can create a new one. And this can be a useful way too to tag groups of contacts that you've imported, specifically to tag what import they were in. So if you wanted to, you could create a tag specifically to say they were imported on whatever date or from whatever platform or whatever like that. I'm going to just leave these all blank. I don't need, actually, let me change my mind on that. I'm going to add them to my master mailing list from here, and then we'll move on. So the final step is the questionnaire, where we need to gather some information about where the leads came from in order to approve them for import into your account. And this is an important step because it helps us comply with anti-spam laws, helps us ensure that the contacts that you're bringing in are real opt-ins and people who actually want to hear from you. We're not going to be running some kind of a phishing scam because nobody wants that. So this process helps maintain deliverability standards, making sure that we have compliance and all of that. So at this very first step, we want to explain, how did you get these contacts that you're importing? Where did they come from? How did you get them? So it gives you an explanation here, including this tip here, if you have direct links to the web pages where people signed up. So you could say, let's see, people signed up on my website at domain.com. This is just going to be a sample, through an opt-in form on the homepage. And I stored the contacts in MailChimp, we'll say. I'm migrating from another service here. And let's see. The last time that I emailed this group, and this is kind of helps just say that this group is valid, and it's actually like an engaged group of emails as well. Sent my last message to them a week ago. we'll say. Okay. So that's all useful information. It tells us things like, were these contacts stored in another CRM or another platform? How recently have you been in contact with them? To kind of establish the fact that they are engaged, they're still opted in, they want to be on your list. And then this also helps us just verify where those contacts came from, and we can visit your website to take a look at it. So again, so I put this in my explanation, but I'm going to put it here. Um, If you have contacts, let's say, that opted in through a form on a system that you no longer have, like you're not running it through, or you don't have access to the website necessarily. If you have screenshots or anything that you can include here of the original form, or if you've got screenshots of, um, let's say, a recent campaign that you sent out, like a recent email showing that people were opening the email, they were clicking links and things like that. Those are all useful. It's really just like, if you're not really able to point to, here's where I collected people, then you can provide that kind of evidence as well, just to say like, this list is legitimate and these people are engaging with the messages that I send them, helps to provide that legitimacy as well. So the next step is we want to verify the pages or sites where you collected your contacts. And what you would want to do here is, typically, if these contacts came from your website, you would put in your website address here. So you might say domain.com. But one thing that I will show you here is that once you add that, then we're going to have a new, you add that and save, then we're going to have a new requirement here to enter your email address. And you can see that the domain is pre-populated. And that's because we're going to use that domain email address to verify your ownership of the domain. So if you don't own this address where where you collected the leads, or if you don't have an email address, let's say it was on some other site, or maybe you collected leads at a live event, maybe people signed up, at a seminar or something like that. What you can do is delete this. So you're going to open that back up and delete that domain there. And you're going to put in whatever your actual business domain is. So if any domain where you have an actual custom email address, so in my case, I'm going to use genesisdigital.co because that's where my email is. And I put that in, save that, and then you can see it's updated here that now I have the option to put my actual email address in here. So when I click send, this is now going to send me a verification code that I need to come back and enter in the questionnaire. Okay, so I went over to my email and grabbed the verification code. Took just a couple minutes to come in. And I'm going to enter my verification code here. Click check, and it says that it's verified. So I can now save this. So as you go through each one, make sure that you save each module as you finish. And then finally, it's going to ask me about this data privacy disclaimer, basically making sure that your leads and your contacts were actually collected in a proper opt-in consent method. These should not be scraped emails. This should not be a purchase list. You shouldn't just take like your contact list from your phone and upload them like that. People have to have given consent to receive commercial email from you. So as long as those things are true, you can check these off. And then again, save this. And once everything, so you can see here, this is still grayed out. That means that one of my sections is not saved. So I'll go up and save that. And then come back down, and I am ready to submit it. So once I click submit, you'll see this message. We'll review them in the following 24 hours. We do have a team that reviews every single import. So if there's ever any question of what do I put in this questionnaire, what information do I put, just explain as well as you can, as thoroughly as you can, where your leads were collected, how you stored them, how often you emailed them, all of that kind of information. So obviously some situations are going to be straightforward, but we know that life is not always super straightforward. So just give your best explanation there. If the import is declined, our team will get in touch with you and let you know what additional information they might need in order to get it approved. So you'll see that come back within within 24 hours, either approval or declined. So going back to the dashboard, we can see where that status is. So you can see now this import has changed to in review. And when if it's been approved, it will get a green approved status bubble, or if it's declined, it'll get a red one like this. And that is everything. You'll also see if it's approved as well, you'll see this imported contacts number increase to match the number that were actually imported. And either way, you'll get a notification. So you'll be able to see clearly if it was approved, if it was declined, and what your next steps might need to be. All right, I hope that was helpful. Just a quick overview of how to get contacts uploaded into Kartra so that you can start using them to send email and grow your business. I hope that was helpful, and I'll see you again next time.